Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is realism or realist school of international politics. When it comes to international political theory, this school of thought is the most important school of thought. We will see how it is. But before we proceed, let me introduce you to myself. I am Vijay Bhaskar. Now, first about my teaching experience. So this is my 4th year of training civil services aspirants for political science and international relations. For civil services, yes, I have appeared for mains 4 times, interview once, and for my academics, I have graduated in political science from Hindu College. I have done my post-graduation in political science from Hindu College. I have done my another post-graduation in sociology from Delhi School of Economics. I have got JRF and NET in political science as well as sociology. Apart from that, I have also been a researcher in School of International Studies, JNU. Okay, so yeah, I'm a person who has appeared for civil services exam, so I know the game there, and then I do have academic qualifications to teach and train you guys in the discipline of political science and international relations. Okay, but before we proceed to topic, one more important thing. Why? Let's talk about the platform which has brought me here. Yes, you are right, and that is Unacademy Plus. It's a fantastic platform. Understand how? See, what do you want when you are preparing, when you are an aspirant? Whatever you want, you will find everything here on this platform. Most importantly, you buy a subscription for the course, and every educator, okay, is available there. So I'm just one of them. So you buy one subscription and you get access to all the educators. So it's live streaming, you get recorded videos, you can watch it online, you can watch it offline, all the quizzes, all your queries, everything gets solved over there. Another question you can ask, what happens when your subscription ends, right? When your subscription ends, all the videos are gone, but it's not gone permanently. Okay, so once you reactivate rather your subscription, so again you will have access to all your past videos, all the videos in the past, and then whatever is streaming live. Okay, so it's a very fantastic platform, and I wish that during my time if I would have got this kind of platform. But okay, anyways, you guys are lucky you have this. Okay, so coming back to the topic. Okay, realism or realist school of international politics. Understand the importance of this topic. It's the most important topic when you are going to study international relations theory. Understand why? This is because any theory that we are going to study, beginning from idealism till constructivism or postmodernism, post-structuralism, any theory, okay? So you are going to study any theory in reference to realist school of international politics. So this is that dominant a theory, okay? So we must understand, and it's very, very important, okay? It's very, very important for your paper 2, international relations theory, okay? So now, first let me tell you what you are supposed to know, okay, inside realism, okay? So realism has certain classifications. If you can zoom it here, okay? See, inside realism, you are supposed to know about classical realism. You are supposed to know about neo-realism, okay? That further gets divided into defensive realism. Most famous name is Kenneth Walsh. And then offensive realism. Again, the most famous person related with offensive realism is Mearsheimer. And then the third, neoclassical realism. I hope you must have heard the name of Farid Zakaria and all. Okay, they are related with neoclassical realism. So it's like combination of neo plus classical. So it's the most contemporary. Then also we will see that certain new developments have happened and all the criticisms and all. Okay, but anyways, we will look at these things. Okay, first let me introduce you to a realist school of international politics. See, realism. Okay, so it is very much real politic. Where have we learned real politic? If you go back, okay, if you remember your Western political thinkers, you will see that in Thucydides, okay, in Machiavelli, okay, in Hobbes, in E.H. Carr, okay, you will find this real politic. Now, what is this real politic? See, the word, the name suggests itself, okay, it is real and politic, okay. So, a politics which is very much based on practical and not moral considerations, okay. What are the moral considerations? Just remember that subjectivity objectivity debate, okay, in the Western political thought, okay. So from there you are getting that moral consideration or practical consideration. So realism, okay, this school is very much based on the practical and not moral considerations, and that's why you call it as real politic. I have told you it's a hegemonic school, it's a dominant school of international politics, it is the oldest school of international politics, okay, and the most famous name, Thucydides. We have studied Thucydides when you would be studying about Plato, you would be studying about Aristotle, you would be studying about Socrates to begin with, okay. Actually, Thucydides is the person who has written history of Peloponnesian War. Okay, and what is this Peloponnesian War? Yes, Peloponnesian War is the war fought between Sparta and Athens. Okay, and Thucydides writes what was the reason for that war. Okay, and he tells you that the reason for Peloponnesian War was the security dilemma. Now, what is security dilemma? Okay, security dilemma is an essential component of realism or realist school of international politics. Okay, so what happened actually in Peloponnesian War, and Thucydides writes it, is that Athens, it was becoming very powerful. Okay, and because of Athens being very powerful, it created a kind of security threat for Sparta. Okay, and then they fought a war, and then rest is history. Sparta became victorious, Athens lost. Yes, you are right, Plato wanted to recover from that loss only. Okay, anyways, so there is Thucydides. Okay, another important name associated with this school is Machiavelli, the prince, real politic, realism. Okay, all the moral dilemma of the prince should be resolved. So that you get from Machiavelli. He is an important influence, or you can say janitor of this school of thought. Okay, then Hobbes. Hobbes, I will come back. Hobbes, I will talk about Hobbes when we are going to wrap it up or at the end, because there are various assumptions inside realist school of international politics, and for that we need to discuss, because it will be easier for us to learn about those assumptions, okay, vis-a-vis Hobbes, because we have already studied Hobbes. Okay, another important writer is E.H. Carr. Okay, he has written a book, 20 Years Crisis. Basically this was from, you can say, 1919. Okay, and then you add 20 years, so it should be 1939. Okay, yes, so 20 Years Crisis, and there he has criticized liberals, idealists. So you can understand what is this time frame. This is interwar periods. Okay, important phase for idealism also. We will discuss that when we come to that. Okay, then Hans J. Morgenthau. Okay, Morgenthau has written Politics Among Nations. And when we come to this classical realism, okay, basically we will be discussing this person only, Morgenthau. Okay, we will discuss all these things, fine. But first, let's talk about the various assumptions. Actually, what is realism all about? Okay. So there is something which happened, and I think I should rub this part. Okay. And then we can just elaborate on these things. Okay. See, Treaty of Westphalia. Okay, now what is this Treaty of Westphalia? Okay, there was a treaty, 1648, and Treaty of Westphalia, it basically defines a state, okay, and it establishes that states are the only actors. Understand? I'm re-emphasizing on this word. The states are the only actor in the international arena. Okay? So they are the only actors in the international arena. So that means states. So what are the states? Basically we are talking about nation states. Okay? So nation states, they are the only actors. Okay? So that means they are sovereign. Okay? So that means there is no overarching authority above them. Remember Hobbes, I told you. Hobbes is very important. If you remember a state of nature, okay, so you will remember that man in a state of nature was sovereign. Okay, and there was no authority over and above that sovereign in the state of nature. Similarly, nation states are the only actors. We are talking about international arena, and I am just trying to explain one of the most important assumption. Okay, that is anarchy. Okay, and we will reach to anarchy. How? When we come to this point that nation states are the only actors, they are the real sovereign actors. Okay, so then sovereign actor. Okay, so the first thing that we got is that nation state. Okay, they are only actors. That is like what you are getting through Treaty of Westphalia 1648. Okay, so it is an established fact that in the international arena, nation states are the only actors. Okay, that means two things. Now, what are those two things? So first thing is that they are sovereign. Okay. And the second thing, that everyone must respect their territorial integrity. Okay, territorial integrity. Everyone is sovereign, their territorial integrity must be respected. That means there is no hierarchy. Theoretically I am talking. Okay. So in international arena, there is no hierarchy. There is no one authority above another authority. So there is no global policeman. Okay. So every nation state, how big or how small it is, okay, they all are equal. They all are sovereign. So that is the first principle. Okay. That's the first thing that you learned, and that got established through Treaty of Westphalia. Okay. So now, realists, they also take that assumption in the account, okay, and the first thing, because of that sovereign nature and territorial integrity, they describe the international arena, okay. So they tell that in international arena there is anarchy, okay. So there is no overarching authority. Understand, anarchy doesn't mean lawlessness, okay, but anarchy can lead to lawlessness. Okay, anarchy, it just means that there is absence of an overarching authority. Now you can ask, what about regional organizations, international organizations? Understand, okay, and for now, later on we will come to that point when we discuss liberalism and all. Just understand that for realists, okay, they do not assign any importance, okay, to regional organizations or international organizations. So although they are there, but for realists, they are non-existent. And we are talking about the beginning, okay. So in the beginning part, so realism came before your League of Nations, realism came before your United Nations and all the other regional organizations. Okay, understand, realism is very much based on the experience of politics among European nations. Okay, now European nations, why European nations? Obviously, before or till Second World War, the whole world was colonized by these European powers. So the only politics that was existent in the international arena, it was politics among European nations. So European nations. Okay. So the first point is, the first assumption is anarchy, very much related to Treaty of Westphalia. Okay. The second, see, all the things are interlinked. Sometimes we even say that, okay, there are three as and all those kind of things, but understand that nation state sovereign territorial integrity, it's related to anarchy. Okay, now the second important assumption is national interest. Now what is national interest? Remember in Hobbes what you have studied? Yes, in Hobbes it was about human interest, it was about individual interest. Why? Because every individual was equal. Okay, so it's about your own interest. Now there is no regulating overarching authority. Okay, so it is about a nation's own interest. See, this is what the assumption is. Okay, that's a very rational assumption, that when you do not have any controlling authority, what do? Okay, so you have to be focused on your national interest. See, national interest, again, it's hold together a concept. Okay, and it can involve whole lot of things, but it's about nation's interest. Okay, and the most important interest or most important national interest is survival. Okay, so that brings to the third assumption, that is survival. Okay, and what is about survival? Understand, now again I am going back to Thomas Hobbes. I am just quoting Hobbes so that, because you have studied Hobbes, it comes at very beginning, so that you can relate with that. What has happened in the state of nature? In the state of nature, human beings, okay, the man, okay, all men were equal, and for the survival they struggled for power. So it was all about power. Okay. Similarly, in the international arena, survival is a very important question. It is the prime national interest. Why? Because territorial integrity and every other nation state is a sovereign state. Okay. What we studied in Thucydides, security dilemma. If I become powerful, okay, see, just take an example. Just take an example. What happens in the South Asian region between India and Pakistan? When India develops some kind of weapon or acquires some kind of weapon, Pakistan, it feels insecure. So there develops the security dilemma. Okay? So there is no point. Now that's a realist assumption. Okay, and because of that, there will be arms race. Okay, we will study about those things. Okay, so survival. Survival is the third important assumption. Okay, and what do you need for survival? Obviously, you need power. Now again, when we are talking about power, okay, here, so power is not, like, you are not talking about power in absolute terms. Okay, in international politics, power is a relative concept. Okay, so you always need not equal power to your opponents. Okay, you need more power. Okay, so understand what is happening. So it's like balancing of power. So every time your opponent acquires something, okay, you have to gain more power than your opponent. That is the focus of realism, and how you are, and that is the prime national interest. Okay, so power is an important component. Okay, and what you are going to do, how to go for these things? Can you depend upon anyone? Absolutely not. Okay, and that brings us to the fourth important assumption, that is self-help. Okay, so there is no overarching authority. It's a rational, understand. Okay, it's very much related with the game theory. Okay, it's like zero-sum game. It's about self-help. You just cannot trust anyone else. It's about your national interest. It's about the survival of your nation state. What do? You can't take any chance. Okay? So you have to go for self-help. How do you go for self-help? Okay? That means develop your own capabilities. Okay? That means maximize your power. Okay? Now, understand, these are the basic assumptions, okay, about Realist School of International Politics. Basic assumptions, just the basic assumptions, okay. We have to learn more about the various tools that they employ. Okay, tools like what? Tools like balance of power, tools like nuclear deterrence, okay, tools like diplomacy, tools like preemptive wars. Understand, all these things are related with realism. Okay, so we will learn more about that in our next lecture. We will learn about classical realism. Okay, to sum up, just understand that we are talking about an arena. Okay, very quickly I'm just going to tell you whatever we have studied. Just focus. Okay, so understand, this is like your international space. Okay, and then you have these nation states. Okay, they are quite independent. Okay, and they just cannot depend upon anyone else. Okay, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You are going to help yourself. Okay, because this international space is very much like anarchy. Okay, so help yourself, maximize your power, think about your national interest, then you can survive. Okay, okay, so we will continue in our next lecture. Obviously we will continue with Realist School of International Politics. Many more things to learn. This is the most important theory. Okay, so thank you. Bye bye, take care.